Hello, my lords and ladies, and welcome to another episode of Nerd Nights Painting, where we're doing again some more rats. I'm gonna try and start putting these out on Sundays, like a little bit of bonus video when I get more time to kind of do this during the week. Just kind of work on them here and there, but yeah, the rats are we're getting there. Anyways, thank you to all my YouTube members. Thank you to everyone who subscribes, who shares the videos, who likes, who reposts, who does whatever they can to help support the channel. I can't thank you enough. This is super easy. This is just another color coordination that you might like. But without further ado, let's go. All right, after building your miniature, and I spray painted in black and then white from above, and I also did put some Stirland Mud before I spray painted it. That's a lot of steps right there. You know, we are going to be doing some Wyldwood on all of our fur. Now, you probably noticed that I have a bunch of rat videos because it's coming out of the Skaven type box. I'm giving you ideas on how to paint your Skaven different colors if you want to make them all uniform, all different. I make all mine different because they're rats, they're poor, they got nothing, they're all going to scrounge and find stuff. They just, they're all going to look different. So that's how I want to do my rats, and I'm just giving you ideas on how to do it. All right, for the top portion of our Skaven little helmet or leather, whatever this is, we're going to use some Militarium Green. For the hood covering our Skaven's backside area, we're going to be using some Flush Terrors Red. You can also use Belial Red if you want, or any other type of speed paint red that you do have. For the bottom portion coming below the green portion, we're going to use some Talassar Blue. Now, you can use any other type of blue that you would want on this, but I use this color. Again, this is just to show you different methods on painting your Skaven. You can pick one. You can say, I don't like this, I do like this, but again, it's up to you, and these are just ideas on how you can paint your army in different colors. For the shield and for our rope that is around our Skaven's little waist, we're going to be doing some Snakebite Leather. For our rat tail and our mouth, be very careful with that mouth. We're going to be doing some Volupus Pink. Pretty simple. And for our teeth, along with our little nails on our toesies, we're going to use the Skeleton Horde. And I also use this as the blade handle as well, so just throw that in there while you have it. And finally, for our last base color, we're going to paint the front of the shield and the blade itself with some Leadbelcher. Also get the chainmail as well, and that is it for all of our base colors. All right, 4 washes we're using real quick, and the first one is going to be some Nulin Oil on top of all of our metallics, to include the chainmail. For the green hood area, we're going to be using some Athnian Camoshade. Pretty simple. To darken up our blue, we're going to do a little bit of a Drakenhof Nightshade. This will give it a little bit more depth and kind of dull out that shininess that you might see with your Tesseran. I think it's Tesseran Blue, whatever it's called. And then finally on the rat tail, we're going to do some Carroburg Crimson and then let this dry, and then we'll move on to the next step. All right, to kind of dull out our skin a little bit, or to give that dark undertone with a little bit of bright redness to it with some brown, we're going to use some Mournfang Brown. Now, you can use a different color if you like, but I really like how this turned out with the dark undertone on the bottom and then the red-brown on top. So I think it's worth doing. All right, we're not going to overdo a lot of this green on the hood, and the reason for that is that that white that you primed it with is really already sticking out. So we're just going to kind of do some edging. So anywhere that you can kind of see the edging around the bottom that touches the blue, and on the face, we're just going to put some of that Moot Green in there. We're not going to overdo it. You could really just be minimal on this because these are rats. They're not like focal points, but you do want them to look good in the battlefield. And I think these just add a little bit of flavor to do just a little bit of an extra step, 10-15 minutes, and it should be good. And we're going to do a little bit of the same thing on the Evil Sunz Scarlet. For some reason, red on the contrast paint kind of blotches up a little bit. So I like to just kind of go over it a little bit with some of that Evil Sunz Scarlet just to kind of dull it out just a little bit. All right, to brighten up our blue a little bit, and again, we're not doing very much. All we're really kind of doing is getting a little bit underneath that right armpit area, and then we're just doing some edge highlighting with some Hoeth Blue. You can use whatever kind of light blue you got, maybe some Araman Blue, something on that line, just to kind of brighten it up just a little bit. Again, but we don't want to overdo this. We want to keep it as is. Now you'll notice that the rat tails obviously have little grooves in them, so we're just going to go with some pink horror, or you can use some Emperor's Children. I like pink horror because it's not as bright, and we're really just going to kind of cruise down. I know it looks bright on this video, but it's not. It's just the lighting. All right, we are coming down to the wire. Again, we don't want to spend a crazy amount of time painting these rats up. They're rats. We got a whole bunch of them to do, and we're going to try and, like I said in the beginning of the video, sneak these in on Sundays as like little bonus videos for people if they want to see them. But it is just something that, you know, whatever. Anyways, so we're going to be doing some Iron Breaker on all of our metallics. For the sword, we're just doing the sharp part, not doing anything crazy on that one. And then make sure that you kind of do a little bit of a dry brush on that chainmail that is coming down. To brighten up our teeth just a little bit, we're going to use some Screaming Skull. If you want to keep it a little bit more mundane, you can do Ushabti Bone or whatever kind of bone color you do have, but it is up to you. And finally, I am just going to put some Aggaros Dunes down where that Stirland Mud was spray painted over. And then I'm going to do the rim of the base because it is your favorite part of painting the miniature because it means you're done. And I'm doing it in Abaddon Black to keep all of my units uniform. If you have a different base you're doing with yours, you can do whatever you would like. It is up to you, but that's what I'm doing with mine. And that is it. That is all she wrote right there. More rats done. I think this is part 6, I think. I don't know, somewhere around there. But another color scheme. I have more color schemes I'm going to be pumping out in the near future. These are just to kind of get in there, get some videos going, and, you know, get some more ideas that you might like these types of colors put together. Now, I know... you know, they get kind of boring at sometimes, but you got to get your army painted, and rats need to be all different. It's not painting the same thing over and over and over again. So, yeah, that's where we're at. All right, well, as always, I want to say thank you to all my YouTube members, all my subscribers. You guys are awesome. Anybody who shares this video, anybody who supports it, follows me on Instagram, literally anybody that helps the channel, I can't thank you enough. My dream is to get this channel to 100,000. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but a person can dream, right? So yeah, anyways, I love you all, and I will see you on the next one. We do have some more stuff coming up from Darkwater, a ton of Warhammer stuff, so stay tuned. I love you all. All right, paint on.